What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And I got another Manny Pacquiao themed video for you today. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, kind of dispelling some of those rumors about Mikey Garcia being the next opponent for Manny Pacquiao. Well, I have it on good authority, like I said in yesterday's video, that that's not actually going to happen. Obviously, things can change. This is boxing. We know how quickly things can go from one way to the other. But based on the information that I've received, Manny Pacquiao is not fighting Mikey Garcia in Saudi Arabia, and he's not even fighting them at all at this point. There are three opponents who are on the list of fighters to be considered or opponents to be considered for Manny Pacquiao's next fight. And those three opponents are Amir Khan, and we'll talk a little bit about some of these names in a second. Shawn Porter, all right, so everybody is definitely familiar with him, and Danny Garcia. So it'll be one of those three fighters who will be Manny Pacquiao's next opponent. I think all three of them are seemingly on a little bit of a wait to hear back from Manny's camp sort of a thing at this point. Now let's talk first about Amir Khan. Obviously, we know, if you really understand boxing, you know Amir Khan is extremely skilled. He does have like that classic flaw, which is his defense and then his chin. I've always contended that Amir Khan, I've never seen Amir Khan knocked out with a shot that wouldn't have knocked most people out. So I contend that his biggest weakness is his defense, not necessarily his chin. His chin is average to slightly below average, but he gets hit with massive shots. Just think about it. Think about Breidis Prescott knockout. Think about the shot that Danny Garcia hit him with that knocked him silly and he made it through the round but never got his legs back. Think about the shot, obviously, that Canelo Alvarez knocked him out with. You know, I mean, I think Jose Diaz hit him with a shot that probably shouldn't have hurt him. But I think really the biggest issue is the defense. But we also know about that hand speed. And his ability to just put punches and combinations together. He's not as active as he once was, and he's obviously a little bit older, but I still think that him and Manny could be an interesting fight, even though most people hear Amir Khan's name and go, whatever. Totally understandable. Shawn Porter, this fight, if you are a Manny Pacquiao fan, this one kind of a little bit scares me a little bit. And Manny Pacquiao's had a far more fantastic career than Shawn Porter. He is, if you rate these guys, up and down, Manny's here and Shawn Porter's here from an overall accomplishment standpoint, where they stand in the pantheon of the sweet science. But styles do always make fights. And Shawn Porter fights a bruising, rough house type of a style. He's a borderline dirty fighter. He throws a lot of shots. Shawn's a dog. And if you're going to beat Shawn, you got to really, really bring it. And I'm not saying that Pacquiao's incapable of bringing it, but he's as great as Pacquiao is, he's never really been a true welterweight. So what he's done in the welterweight division is just that much more amazing because he's an undersized guy to be making to fight at 147 pounds. Porter is extremely strong, very active, very aggressive. He pushes the pace. He's all in your face. And traditionally, Pacquiao has not necessarily enjoyed those types of matchups. Jeff Horn fight is one that comes to mind, even though Porter's nowhere near as big as Jeff Horn, but it's a similar style fight. Awkwardness, just strong and, a little dirty, all of that involved. It's a similar style fight. That one bothers me a little bit for Pacquiao if you're really a Pacquiao fan, especially at his age. I've always said, and I've said this time and time again, Pacquiao to me has earned the right to have like these legacy, celebration type of fights as he moves towards the end of his career. This Shawn Porter fight is a grimy, get down to the nitty gritty kind of a fight. And that one's a little out there. The Garcia fight, Danny Garcia, is interesting. I know I feel pretty positive that Pacquiao would have a speed advantage, but Danny has a fantastic chin. Danny's an excellent counterpuncher, and he has a humongous left hook. And Pacquiao would have to be very careful against Danny Garcia, picking his spots to dart in and out. And Danny's a tough fight. I've never seen Danny dominated. I've seen him lose fights. I've seen him get the benefit of the doubt on fights that I thought he lost. Mauricio Herrera is one, Lamont Peterson is the other. But he's a tough guy. Nobody dominates Danny Garcia. So that one would be very interesting. I think he has the most potential to stop Manny with a huge counter shot. So that one is a little shaky if you're a Manny fan. But I think all three of them are somewhat interesting. And let's just be honest. We're talking about Manny Pacquiao. So any fight he's in is going to have some level of interest because he is an icon. He's a legend of the sport. So those three opponents, I think, are fine. I'm not demanding to see Manny fight Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, and these kinds of guys. As I've said before, at his age and what he's already accomplished in the sport, I don't necessarily need to see Manny in the ring with the absolute best welterweights in the world. If he does, fine, but I'm not going to give Manny a hard time the same way I would maybe like a Canelo or somebody like that, because they're not fighting the top guys. Manny's been there, done that in 9 weight classes. So I'm not going to really do it. The same way I didn't put that pressure on Mayweather to do that either. He's been there. He's gone all through all these different Hall of Famers. He's done all these different things. Those guys can fight each other, but I'm not going to necessarily, remove my respect for them if they're not challenging the 27, 28, 29-year-old top fighters in that division. So that's what I've learned about Manny Pacquiao based on people that I've talked to who I know for a fact would know exactly, have some information about Manny's plans. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. Make sure that you subscribe, leave a like on the video, share it. We're trying to rebuild this, the consistency on the channel. Fun talking boxing all the time. God bless and peace.